Hello, Deathwish, and welcome to your deck review. I see we're working on a mono green devotion deck, and I've read your primer. See, we're bouncing between brackets 2 and 3. Our main concern is that this is a deck we have fiddled with many times, and we're worried that we have lost the plot. So we want to care about devotion. We are struggling primarily with board wipes being fucking impossible to recover from. Right? Unapologetic love letter to Green Stompy. Turns out that letter, very flammable. So you said you bounced back and forth between the two Nyleas as your commander. Before we... That's a great card. It's a dumb card. That's a great card. So before we get too deep into this, I think the one thing that will help you the most, more so than any individual card I can give you, is draw some lines around what devotion means to you. I'm going to check Scryfall. I'm going to check what you have in this deck. But you need to know why you care about mono green pips, because I don't think Wizards does. You have your Nylea, who's not a creature unless you have 5 green pips. That's not very many, right? That's not very hard. That's like Llanowar Elves, another dork, a 4-drop with 2 pips, and then you play Nylea, and she's a creature, right? So if you want to have the deck, the heart and soul of the deck be, I'm playing worse creatures than I otherwise would be, because they have green pips, I find it doubtful that we're going to find a strong mechanical payoff for that. If you're okay with being in bracket 2 and 3, that's probably fine, but it means that you have to define the spiritual payoff, and I think it needs to be more precise than just haha green pip funny. I think if you just do haha green pip funny, that's so amorphous, and that's why you keep going back to fiddle with it more and more. So let's see what you have, and let's see if there are mechanical benefits we can extract from having a lot of green devotion. And for anybody who's already typing a comment, oh my god, yes, Nykthos, right? That's the one. Okay, you could definitely run every mono green land tutor there is and just be like, I want to get Nykthos as quickly as possible, and that's my primary payoff. After that one, I currently believe it gets pretty sparse. So let's see what tags you got. Squint. Brother. You're right, though. You're right. I can't contest that. Devotion payoffs. Perfect. Okay, +X, where X is your devotion to green. No trample. Certainly not nothing. For 1 mana, we can play around that. Float mana equal to green devotion. Ooh, creatures you control get +X until end of turn, where X is your devotion to green. I do love weaker Craterhoof. Nykthos, Nyx Lotus. Ooh, power toughness equal to devotion. Very cute. Power equal to devotion, but she's just a 3 toughness creature. And then creatures enter with counters. When Reverent Hunter enters the battlefield, put a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to your devotion to green. Yeah, like, this is not nothing, but the current pace of the game is Ouroboros. This is both for you and for anybody watching in terms of how harsh I might come off against this strategy. You have some very cute synergies here. I get a tapped artifact that floats 7 mana. It's just not what it used to be when our payoffs are Nylea, God of the Hunt. Oh, but she's a trample enabler. That works really well with Colossus's design, with Aspect to the Hydra. So I think we have almost something here. I worry that we don't have broad enough support to make it feel really compelling, but let's see. Okay, power-based draw, not power-based draw, just whatever. Power-based draw. Cute. Power-based draw. Good draw, well, not even draw, but good. Oh, no, you could be draw if you pay 4 life. Very good devotion. Okay, so we've got the standard mono green card draw package, and then we've got Craterhoof anyway. I think these are mostly correct as finishers. Generic threats. Galta, Lumra. I agree with basically all of these. I think Omnath, Locus of Mana, very cute way to capitalize on the Nykthos and the Nykthos-esque things you have. Okay, we have 38 lands total. Nobody get jump scared by the 33 in that parentheses. Yeah, I think that's mostly fine. I think three Tree City is probably a trap. Yeah, we don't. The most we have of any one type is elves, and we only have 7. So you're probably seeing 1 elf a game. Wow, brother, I would cut this. This is gonna be the first thing I tell you. Well and true, I love you. Fucking cut this card. The reason you want to cut this card is because at the point you can tap this land, your mana problems should be over. Should be over. It should be done at this point. Like the point at which we have 5 lands, if you're in a mono green devotion deck and I see all these goddamn elves hanging around, at the point you can tap 5 lands, you should be able to tap like 9 fucking mana. We don't need a land that taps for 1 more, and all this can do is fuck up one of your opening hands and force you to mulligan when you don't want to. So kill that. Effectively the same argument for 3 Tree City. I just don't think you have the density of a given creature type to make this pay off. So clean up your opening hands, kill those 2 with hammers. Otherwise your land count's fine. So let's see. My 2 big concerns for this deck, I don't think we have enough payoffs for devotion. The number of payoffs you have for devotion is in range with what I expect to see from the like finishers or big threats section. 8 is an amount where you're going to see like 1 a game. 8 is not an amount for I am building this deck around the idea of doing this reliably. That may just be a problem with Wizards of the Coast. Maybe they've not printed enough. So let me go to, I'll see Aspect of the Hydra. Oh, it's probably just Aspect of Hydra. Yeah, they love to do that. So let's go to the Scryfall tagger, see if there is... There has to be... Oh, I can just advanced search for Devotion. Devotion green. We have this one. We don't have this one, but this is the one that's swapping back and forth in the command zone. Ooh, we're out. Ooh. Ooh. Yeah, that is tough. And this is just a life gain card. All right, so even if we played every single one we could, we're only getting to 11. I think therein lies the problem. Like, I think at that point, it is mathematically impossible to build a deck that is based around benefiting off that devotion. Because you just can't draw enough cards every game to see enough copies. For reference, if you're like, I want to build a deck that cares all about showcasing X mechanic, you need like 20 to 25 of those cards in your deck, bare minimum, for it to feel like that. Or your command zone has to do it in a compelling way. Nylea does it in the command zone, but it doesn't really do it in a super compelling way because this devotion cost is both not that big and you don't really get a great, crazy benefit for it. Right? If Nylea somehow scaled directly with devotion, it would be better. Our only option for that is Renata, and she's 3 toughness, so she's insanely shootable, and you get into the same issue where creature-based removal is just ruining your life. So that means that devotion is probably going to get relegated to more of a garnish than the meat of the dish. The meat of the dish can definitely be Stompy, which I think is the direction you have taken it already. Golly. Do we not have enough of these cards? Okay. So that's problem 1. We don't have enough cards. We have to figure out how to navigate this just with it being garnish. Problem 2 is the problem you raised. We're incredibly vulnerable to creature-based removal. I think the number one thing I could offer there is swap as much of your ramp as you can from creature-based dorks to enchantment-based dorks. Other permanents that will stick around on the board even after you get Wrath of God. So O-Tag, ramp, type. Actually, let's go advanced search. Let's go. No, I think we do have to go creature. Type enchantment. Commander green. Let me make sure this doesn't go against any of your payoffs. Devotion, 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 devotion. Okay, none of these care specifically about creatures. So first thing you can do to be a little bit more resilient to Jonathan Boardwipe. That elf is now Utopia Sprawl. That elf is now Wild Growth. Oh, Enduring Vitality could do it. It'll come back as an enchantment. Spelunking could do it. It's a bad one, but it's an extra land drop for a turn. It has a green pip in it. Fertile Ground can do it. Da 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 da. Hothouse kind of does it, but not amazingly. Hauntwoods can do it as an enchantment for the impending cost. Mana Reflection is not huge on pips. Overgrowth can do it. You would not really get enough benefit from Encroaching Dragonstorm, but that could do it. If you run a bunch of fetch lands, Undergrowth Recon can do it. So these are all just options for like, how do I get a pip out of something that does not die to creature-based board wipes? That's kind of like, at least that way, if we get our power toughness situation totally fucked by a board clear, we don't necessarily get our mana situation fucked by a board clear. The other stuff we could do, throw some recursion in here. We have draw, we have protection. We don't really have ways to get stuff out of the graveyard. I think the like low to the ground stuff we could do there, or I guess low hanging fruit, is what's that bitch ass card's name? It is an MDFC. How do they not track that? Oh, that's probably an O tag, not a. How do they not track that, man? Type land, commander, green. Okay, well this land is definitely better than whatever Scryfall is giving it credit for. Or I guess EDH rec. What is the damn? There has to be a tag for being a double-sided land. Utility land, animal magic, multiple heads. Okay. We're playing games with me. We're playing games with me. Land is sorcery. Think you can fuck around with me? Absolutely no chance. Come on. There we go. Balagad Recovery. That was so difficult for no reason. So stuff like Balagad Recovery that just gets creatures back to hand. Because the other thing is when you are making sacrifices like this to get stuff that has really big pips, your cards are going to have a very, very high variance. I'm sure you already know this and you don't need me to tell it to you. But the good people watching on YouTube might. So you're going to have some very, very good creatures and you're going to have some very, very bad creatures. And so if you get board wiped, you would probably rather have a card that can get back your very, very good creature rather than your like B minus C plus devotion guy. So like if we lose Vigor, nothing in the deck is another Vigor. Right? Worldspine Worm is pretty cute. I wouldn't cut Worldspine Worm. But like hitting another piece of card draw, even if it's decent card draw, is not another vigor. Cute land-based removal is not another vigor. This is still funny as hell. Trying to hold a 1 mana instant is not another vigor. Sometimes you are just better off digging in your butt, twin, and getting the card back. So especially if you find yourself unable to hold up open mana, I would go digging in the recursion section for mono green. Like Witness, 2 pips, that's decent. Conduit of Worlds, 2 pips. If you go for the every fetch land ever plan, that can also do something. 6 is not pip heavy, but he is a crazy good advantage engine. These guys aren't incredibly pip heavy. And then is there, what's one of your cards that's all pips? Primal Crux. Okay. Sylvan Anthem is very cute. My god, I don't know if that's worth including in the deck, but that is adorable. Damn, you're really having a tough go of it. Okay, let's get back to the deck at hand. I think number one thing we can do, change out some creatures for enchantments. Now, the creatures are generally better than the enchantments, right? Which is why you really, 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 really want to have all these creatures in. I know you have some overrun in, so you don't have to do everything. But even if you swapped out like 50%, or turn stuff like Flare of Cultivation. Like Flare of Cultivation, ramp that gets you no devotion right now. Could be ramp that gets you devotion. Could be Overgrowth or Overlord of the Hauntwoods. Ramp that gets you devotion. And then the next step is that we can go for recursion rather than just pure draw and protect. Because it's probably going to be really, like, even though removal's bad in Commander, trying to protect a thing in Commander is a nigh impossible task because you're up against 3 people. And sometimes your removal, you know, will deal with the targeted removal. It won't deal with the board wipe, or it'll deal with the board wipe, but not the board wipe that exiles, not the Cyclonic Rift, da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da. Sometimes you don't have mana, etc., etc. But overall, I think this is quite well built. I think you have an honorable struggle going on here. So we go land, elf, great, devotion, I'm making mana. I'll do Mosswort Bridge, because I'm otherwise holding my dick in my hand. I hide away 4. Absolutely, I would love a World Spine Worm. Altasaur, you'll come back later. Turn 3. Oh, I think I'm 1. I mean, let's get the party going. I'll put a charge counter on this. Oh, no, I'm being crazy. Get Nightly out. Not a creature yet. Devotion's only 2. Turn 4. Oh, wow, Ancient Tomb. Okay. So I potentially have 6 mana available to me, so I could get a CMC 4 or less creature. See, if we had 6 in the deck, I would be inclined to Ancient Tomb for 6 to start trying to get to something hot. But we don't. Oh no. Let's restore it. Let me duplicate this tab to see. Ah, there they were. Okay. So we do that. We go get the other. We get 3 fucking Llanowar elves. Yeah, 5 mana goes into this. We get a 3 CMC creature, and now Nylea is a creature. Great. This was turn 4, by the way. We're behind in the playtest. So we have a lot of mana. We can't really use it, but I think that's just bad luck because we have 12 sources of card draw that we didn't hit. We can get up the Beanstalk going, such that next turn, when we Galta, we'll at least draw a card for it. Oh, man. Galta, draw a card. Oh, I would have drawn a card for up coming up too. That's really funny. We go Galta, drop Craterhoof, drop Cultivator Colossus. Oh, what a glorious dream that is. And Cultivator Colossus will enter land tapped, draw, land tapped, draw, land tapped, draw, land tapped, draw. Oh my lord. Oh, that's fun. I see why you love this. I see why you love this. And we get to give everything +6/+6. Now, unfortunately, Galta doesn't have haste, so we will have to use her to station a Vendo. But that gets it up to 12. So 11, 17, 9, 7. We get to swing pretty hard here. And then I think everything from here is probably pretty gravy. We still somehow managed to not hit any card draw. So another thing I might recommend is something like Case of the Locked Hothouse for a precog engine. Because you're gonna be pretty heavy on creatures and enchantment spells, I think. Another card that I think might genuinely be better than some of this interaction is Asceticism. This is like quintessential greedy green player card. Has 2 pips in it, counts for devotion, gives all of your stuff hexproof, and gives you a mana dump to regenerate creatures. I think that could be really, really powerful for you. Let me see if I have anything else up my sleeve, but I think that's probably gonna be close to it. Da, 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 da. Fortitude would be crazy if you find yourself with more lands than sense. I'm not saying I firmly believe in that, but that would be a crazy card. Who the fuck is this freak? I think this is what you need. Regenerated's crazy and doesn't work against a lot of stuff. If you're getting hit with Destroy over Exile, oh my god, is this what you need? You shit green mana. He has 1,000,000 pips. He has a way to protect your most valuable thing. Yeah, so I think like this and Asceticism, and then you can, on your on your own time, scroll through all of these terrible, terrible green permanent-based protection pieces and see if there's anything else you want to put in. But I think the overall thing you got to do to get to peace with this deck, you got to figure out what your boundaries of this is why having a lot of green pips is fun for me, because mechanically the juice does not exist. The juice is not worth the squeeze. Spiritually, it very much can be, and the deck you've built does function. To make yourself more board wipe resilient, asceticism and fucking Willem Dafoe up here, and then change out some of these creature-based ramp pieces for enchantment-based ramp pieces that will still give you the same devotion benefit, still give you the same ramp, not be as explodable, and then consider some recursion too. You have the very easy swap in of Balaged Recovery. I think you could also utilize Conduit of Worlds, that artifact I showed. But for the most part, this is working. Don't get in your head too much about it. Definitely a few tweaks we can make, though. So best of luck, and I hope you enjoyed. Oh, Kiyoshi, my girl!